Namaste, salutations, good vibes, greetings. You made it through another Monday. Congratulations. And this is Master Roachee Monday, putting something positive in your Monday with Master Roachee and
Kate.
Caitlin the Talent. Let's give her a big round of applause for Caitlin the Talent. Yes. This is all about Caitlin. All about Caitlin. Right? You're the talent.
That doesn't mean it's all about me.
Yes, you are the talent. That makes it all about you. And I think you've told me it's all about you.
No.
Yes, I distinctly remember you telling me it's all about you.
No.
You said, once I understand that, we'd be much better off. So, yeah. I think the people would be more tempted to believe me than you because they know that you're mean.
Sure thing, chicken wing.
Who do we have?
Everybody.
Namaste. I bow to you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a great show tonight. You know that? We have Dr. High on. And he was on the Thursday Night Vibe show a couple of weeks ago, and we had such an amazing response that I thought, you know what? Better get him back on a Monday show because different audiences. So we're going to be giving away copies of his book. Hey, if you have questions or if you've already got a copy of his book, let us know what you think of it. Ask questions. We want to really hear from you tonight. Yes.
I need your phone.
Or phone. You're being a little hateful tonight.
I don't feel good.
Well, that's no reason to be hateful.
That's all the reason to be hateful.
You know, you get those positive vibes up, get that hate out, and that infection will want to leave your body. Yes. Try it. Try being nice to me and see if it doesn't make you feel better. Because I know it will.
Good luck at making me laugh, Kayla. Good luck. That was a chuckle. That wasn't a laugh. My throat is killing me. I don't know what's going on. I think I have strep throat, which also makes me think that I feel more inclined to spit in Master Roachee's beverage tonight. Hello, bearded buds. Hello, Ronnie Heim. Hello, Christian Renee. Hello, Chris Trailer. Let's scroll up a little bit. Hello, Cosmo. Hello, Cullen. Hello, Simon. Hello, Doris. Hello, Ash. Hello, Jesse. Hello, Linda. Hello, Sandra. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Josh. Hello, Old Scratch. Hey, Mama. I think that's the end.
All right. Yeah, Cosmo. Oh, my friend.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi,
Melissa. Hi, Jason. Hi, Tina.
I had some friends that came in out of town, and we were going to go out to dinner and then out for what I thought to shoot some pool or something. I figured I'd be home 10:30.
Excuse you.
11 o'clock.
No. He had some friends come in from out of town, and he told me and Mama Roachee that it was a guy's night. Let's start it off right. He said it was a guy's night, so we couldn't go. Master Roachee did this to himself.
So, anyway, they picked me up. I figured, we're not going to be out real late. Play some pool. Tony's a great singer, so we'd probably hit some karaoke.
Without me and Mama Roachee.
And I would be back in time to join in. I didn't get back home until almost 5 a.m.
And whose fault was that?
Not mine. So, anyway, Sunday was pretty much a wash, and I'm sorry I haven't gotten back to you, but that's kind of what happened.
Hi, JC, Virginia Beach.
You know,
hi, Victoria Galen.
If Caitlin would have called
Tiffany
me and
Sparks.
said, why aren't you home?
Hi, Melissa. You know you were having a guy's night.
Or Mama Roachee saying, a little late, where are you? But no. Once again, they didn't care anything. They went out to dinner and cash
Hi, Lori. Hi,
after
Shelly.
me to pay for it.
You deserved that.
Yeah.
You excluded us from your evening, so you got to deal with the repercussions of your actions.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Guys' night still cost me extra money. So anyway.
Hi, Terry.
It's all your and your mother's fault.
I didn't do anything. It's your fault. Hi, Cindy. It's your fault. It's your fault. That's what
Now
you
you're
get
just sounding like your mother.
for trying to exclude me from stuff.
Well, I'm going to exclude you from next weekend.
Speaking of excluding.
Yes.
We have somebody waiting in the wings.
I know. And we're going to bring Dr. High on in just a minute. But, this is building. We building expectations. Got a great man. It was a great interview last time. Beautiful, beautiful person. Who do you have on for music tonight?
I don't know. I haven't picked yet.
Caitlin hasn't picked yet. So, well, we're all going to be surprised then. Yep. All right. Well, let's bring Dr. High on.
How's it going?
Hey, namaste, my friend. Welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. My dog decided he wanted to bring the rope and tug with me right at that second that you brought me on live.
Convenient timing.
Yeah, that's the way we roll.
Hi, Tucker.
How are you tonight?
Doing well. Are you going to be able to read the comments tonight?
There should be, if you're on a computer, there should be a little sidebar and it should say like comments.
Yeah.
It should be on your left-hand side. If you click on that, you should be able to see our comments.
It says private chat. Oh, there we go. Oh,
right on. Yeah, now you can see what people are asking and saying, and this will make it things a little bit more interactive. We hope tonight than the last time because you couldn't see the comments. So yeah, I'm doing great. I've got a little ghost going on that a neighbor dropped by and demanded that I try. So I'm enjoying that. What are you enjoying this evening?
Oh, just before we came on, I enjoyed a little bit of the Bruce Banner. A nice 1 gram tone set me up perfect.
I like the Bruce Banner, and I had some baby Banner recently.
Well, that's what inspired me last time I was with you.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about that. I love that strain, the Banner strain. In fact, it's kind of motivated me to start playing again. So I pulled out my hand. My hands are aching because I haven't played guitar in about 3 years. So started back today.
Yeah, it's a lot of little muscles that you get used to not using for a while.
Hello, Brenda.
Alice is back.
Hello, Bill.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to build the calluses back up, but even more, just getting the flexibility and agility back in my hands. Hopefully, I'll be able to do that.
Oh, you will.
But yeah, I'm having some fun. It's Caitlin's fault though that my hands hurt. Stop
saying that.
Why?
Because you don't get it. Stop saying that.
What?
Campers is good for chronic pain, Master Roachee.
Yes, it is.
So perhaps you'll have to indulge a little bit and get that out.
Hi, Sandra.
I think that is wise advice. I think that is very wise advice, and I think I'll take you up on that. So, yeah. What have you been up to since the last time we spoke?
I've been working on a little project that I'm not at liberty to discuss just yet, but it's pretty interesing.
Right on.
I think we'll have something to talk about in a couple of weeks.
I do believe you are Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So
Yeah.
especially looking forward to that conversation. But we had such a good response. I'm going to give you a second, and because we have a different audience on here,
Okay.
to kind of reintroduce yourself and tell them about your book.
Hi, Doris. Hi, Johnny.
Cannabis Medicine.
All right. So I've been involved with cannabis for about 45 years. Right from 11 years old, smoking. By the time I was 20, I was doing just my own grows in the summer for myself, small stuff outdoors, making hash, things like that. So I've been involved for a long time. And then in 2012, I was starting to see the potential for legalization in Canada. So I really wanted to position myself to take advantage of that if it came, because everything seemed to be right. The climate seemed to be right. So I went and got a job in the cannabis industry selling accessories, pipes, bongs, rolling papers, road clips, anything to do with the consumption of cannabis at the head shop level. So I worked as a wholesale salesman, handling about 140 stores across Canada. So from there, the extraction was just beginning. People were just starting to do BHO at that time.
Right.
So a lot of the customers, when I first started, they were calling about dab rigs and different things like that. And I didn't even understand it. I had never seen shatter. I had never, it just wasn't common, right? Honey oil, weed oil. We'd seen all those things, but never shatter. So I had a fairly big customer who come down to Montreal to buy for his store. And he had quite a few discussions about concentrate consumption and dab rigs. He kind of educated me a bit about it, right? Because I didn't really understand it at first. So he comes down on this one trip and we do his order and take it out to his vehicle. And he's like, "Hey, Dave, do you want to do a dab?" And I don't know about that. I mean, I'm at work, right? He says, "I work at a head shop." He said, "And it's customer service. Just tell your boss I said it's customer service. I just spent 15 grand. I can do what I want with your time, really." So I did that first dab, and wow, it was a game changer for me, So I started to explore concentrates at that time, buying the shatter. And then shortly after, maybe 2 months into it, I came across some shatter that was very odd in the way it behaved when I put it into the nail. It splattered and it was kind of bizarre. And I found afterwards that the nail was sticky. And I couldn't understand it. So I wet my finger and I rubbed it and I tasted it and it tasted like sugar.
Huh.
So the next day I went into work and we used to sell all kinds of cut for hash. People don't realize it, but people cut hash with things that are not hash.
Right.
And I never agreed with it. It wasn't something that I ever wanted to be involved with, but it was the business before I got there. So what was I going to say, right?
Right.
So I mentioned this experience the night prior, and the owner reaches in his drawer and he pulls out a bag and he tosses it across the table, and it appears to be shatter. So I said, "What are you doing with that in your drawer?" He said, "That's cut for shatter." And I was like, "Well, what the fuck is that?" You know what I mean? Like, cannabis is a pure thing. This should not be cut. It shouldn't be adulterated in any way, shape, or form.
No.
It's nature's gift, and it should not be screwed with. So
Exactly.
I said to myself at that time, there's no way I'm ever going to buy this product from everybody else again. I'm going to learn to make it myself. So I started like most people do, with a tube and some weed and a can of butane and a Pyrex dish and a little heating pad with my silicone mat. And I started to produce my own.
Right.
And I fell in love with it there, with the actual variety inside a concentrate, because they're always so unique to each strain. The flavor profiles you'll never taste in a joint, you'll taste in a concentrate, right?
Concentrate and vaporizer. That's
Yeah, and
about.
vaporizers too for dry herbs. Yeah.
Yep.
So from there, through the wholesale, I also had to sell cultivation supplies and extraction equipment, but commercial size closed loop systems.
All right. On.
Big ice hash, bubble hash machines, and trimmers, and all kinds of stuff. Right. So
Right on.
I started to learn more about that side of it too. And as my knowledge developed, the business I worked for had about 200 medical growers who were their customers, because they'd been in business a long time. They'd been established, right? So they really had the chunk of the people in that industry in our area went there,
Right.
and had been for a long time. So as I got to develop those relationships, I got to hear a lot of stories about how cannabis had changed people's lives. And in the beginning, it seemed almost too good to be true, right? You know, people with cancer that have these things disappear, and so I was really intrigued by it. So I started to consume material as much as I could. The internet's full of information.
Oh yes.
Started to learn and continued to have conversations with people, and it became a real big point of interest for me.
So I don't know if you can see this comment, but Bearded Bud said that he's seen people pour Kool-Aid powder in the bag, shake it up, and then dump the Kool-Aid out so the concentrate gets extra fruity smells.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. You know, because the problem is when money's involved, people seem to, not everybody obviously, but there are some ethical issues surrounding commercialization of these products. You know what I mean? Yeah. So from there, I started to develop real interest and learn from the people who are having the experiences themselves. And then an opportunity came up to help people match with doctors. They enacted a law in Canada called the Access to Marijuana for Medical Purposes Act.
Right.
Which allowed people with a prescription to cultivate their own plants. So
Actually, wasn't that the first law that started to lead to legalization?
well, there was one prior, the MMAR,
Right.
which a lot of those initial guys, because that had been in place for about 20 years, but they were very serious, and there was not a lot of them. And the guys who had them didn't have the restrictions. Like some of the guys I knew had 20,000 square foot facilities under the MMAR, personal medical cultivation, 20,000 square feet, broken down into 10, 11, 12 rooms. You know what I mean? So it was fairly substantial. But
Yeah.
those are the guys, some of those guys are the ones who actually transitioned into the legal market because they already had facilities large enough to begin to feed the recreational market. So they were some of the first guys with the licensed producer status in Canada.
Right.
But under the ACMPR, you can produce basically, technically it was 4.9 plants per gram per day of your prescription. So for every 1 gram you were prescribed per day, you could grow 5 plants in Canada. So I started off with the opportunity through people I knew. Somebody had access to doctors who would prescribe. And that was the hardest thing to find in the beginning. It still is the hardest thing to find, but they would prescribe. But because we lived in Quebec, all the doctors were English speaking, and it was all through telemedicine. So I started helping people match patient and doctor, but I had to sit in on the appointments because the patients were French speaking and the doctors were English speaking. So translation had to be done.
Oh.
So throughout the course of this, and there was probably close to 100 people that I worked with over this year and a half or so,
Touch it.
I learned a lot because I saw the doctor's perspectives, and these doctors were really good. Like they really understood the plant and the delivery method. You know, they were fantastic. So my interest just got deeper at that point.
Yeah, what an amazing opportunity to sit in there and really, be able to get deep into it with physicians.
It was like, I mean, it was the first time I'd ever heard of suppositories being used. And then I actually learned the benefits of suppositories. Really,
Bioavailability out there.
oh, absolutely. It's the best delivery method there is, really, realistically. Nano emulsion comes close, but suppositories really do the job, crazily
Oh,
enough.
they,
You
they
know,
get it done.
yeah, it's a little bit strange.
Interesting. We have a audience that's interested in dabs and a small audience that is interested in suppositories.
Nice.
So with that being said, we can move on. Yes, we need to recognize everybody in our audience, right?
That's right. That's right. Because all cannabis users are the same. We're one community, one kind, you know?
That's right. Who is there to judge?
That's right. So from there, I was presented with the opportunity to be a designated grower for 4 medical licenses of a total of 615 plants.
Nice.
So we built out a 4,000 square foot facility with 64 lights, and we commenced to growing our 615 plants. Ran that project for about 2 years, and then legalization was opening up in Canada. So I wanted to I mean, what I was doing was entirely legal, but not commercial, right? Because the production was only for your personal medical use. It was not for commercial purposes.
Right.
So then I transitioned to a $50 million brand new startup licensed producer in Canada, in Edmonton, Alberta. I was there when the first plants came in. I ran through the first 2 cycles of cultivation there. Once they had gotten to know me a little bit better, when the genetics department needed to be organized, I was transferred over into genetics. I got that running, and then I became packaging and inventory supervisor for that operation.
Right on.
Yeah. So I was there.
You've got to see all different types of aspects from the industry. Very broad, and that is amazing.
Yeah, I've just had a lot of experience with it. And the experience, the hands-on experience combined with the passion just leads me to always seek to understand and learn more, right? Because that's what passion really does. It drives you to educate yourself and gain as much knowledge as possible.
Exactly. And I love to learn. And I'm like you, I just seek it out. I'm always, interested in, what's the next thing coming? What's this study saying? What are they doing now with the, with this new cannabinoid? And I've just heard of it for the first time. So yeah, there's always exciting news. And, I almost feel if I don't keep up with it, if I miss out for a week or two, I'm going to be behind the curve. It's moving so fast.
Well, the truth is, as legalization expands, it's going to provide more opportunity for study.
Yes.
Right? Within the States, for so long, one place produced cannabis legally, and that was the University of Mississippi. That cannabis could only be used for studies that were designated by the government to obtain the results they wish to put out to the public, right?
Yeah, and most of the studies that the government funded was to find harm.
Yes.
Not to look at benefit, but to find harm to back up their argument.
Yep. And when they did find a benefit in the study, it was released at 11:59 on December 31st of that given year. So
exactly.
New Year's Eve when nobody was paying attention. But so I stayed in the legal industry for a couple of years, and then due to a family situation, I was asked to help run a family business, which is a swimming pool installation company. So I left the cannabis business industry to look out for family obligation. So after one season of putting in pools, I quickly came to the realization that I had no passion for this and, and very little interest. So once the off season started last October, I decided finally that it was time to do something and fill a gap that I really saw was missing in the space. And that was cannabis education for medical purposes, to really show people the potential of the plant through clinical trials, observational studies, the real science, unbiased. What I did was compile all the different research documents and published studies and did analysis of these and started to put together these books, formulating the opinions from the studies and taking them to a level where it's easy to understand and it's all in one place.
Yeah, and and this is what I really loved about the book we're going to talk about specifically tonight is cannabis medicine. You sent this to me. I mean, we met through Facebook,
Yeah.
and kind of got to talking, and you sent me a copy, and I read it, and I was really, really impressed.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. This is just a marvelous book for somebody that doesn't have a clue what cannabis is, to somebody that has a fairly decent understanding but wants to learn more. That very beginner to upper intermediate level book, all in one place, very easy to read, and it's not biased. I like it because it presents both sides of the argument. It's not claiming any miracles. It's not selling any particular product. It's just good, solid information. Well, that's the way I feel about it.
Thank you. that was the intent, right?
Yes.
Dr. High is a completely free resource. My website has no sponsorship, no marketing of any kind, no sales, no product. It's just simply there to help people find their way through things that they come across in life, be it chronic pain or anxiety or PTSD or cancer. Tourette's. There's just so many different medical conditions that when you combine cannabis therapy with the use of traditional medical treatment, some incredible things are happening for people.
Exactly. And we saw that for years within the cannabis community. Now medicine is just catching up to what we already knew.
Yeah.
And it's normalizing and breaking the stigma that, yes, cannabis can be used as medicine. It works with the bodies. It's an amazing plant. It does amazing things. And education is the key, because so many were raised with the crazy propaganda of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, just demonizing cannabis. And there's a lot of work to do through education to do this. And your books are a wonderful, wonderful way for somebody to start that gets the straight story.
Well, and that's the thing, right? There are books out there about cannabis as medicine. Scientific books that have been written. They're out there. They exist. But the thing is, if you have a specific condition, let's say you're suffering from glaucoma, cannabis has shown to be beneficial in lowering intraocular pressure.
Right.
So, therefore, it's a potential therapy for people suffering with glaucoma. But if you buy one of these books on medical cannabis, you might find one page that mentions glaucoma and doesn't really tell you what the studies say and why it functions the way it does, right? So do you really want to spend $25 on a book that's going to just touch on what you really need to know?
Right. But you see, that's where they get you, because you spend $25 on that book to get this much information. Then you spend another $25 and get a little bit more. And by the time you spend $150 or $200 on books or whatever, you finally have found all the information you're looking for.
Well, and that's it. And those books don't really dive deep into terpenes and flavonoids.
No.
And I mean, cannabinoids are a little bit different, right? Because they haven't been studied to the depth that flavonoids and terpenes have. Because those are available in plants other than cannabis that have been legal forever.
Right.
They've done the research on these components, right, that exist inside of the cannabis plant also. The cannabinoids are behind, lagging behind, but that's going to catch up, right? They're already seeing that there are potentials, anti-inflammatory and analgesic and different potentials inside those cannabinoids too. And where the research really needs to go is to determine why the entourage effect exists. How is the cannabinoids interacting with the terpenes and the flavonoids and your endocannabinoid system in order to create this environment of healing, to promote wellness?
Well, we have a fellow that's part of the community, Tim Tucker of Lizard Den, and he is doing a blend, a pain killing blend, where he's taken Panama Red and has mixed it with a very high CBD concentrate. I'm really looking to hear more about this, because I think that's going to be a wonderful strain.
Yes, it could be, and that would be if it's inflammation related pain,
Yes.
then the CBD is really something you want to look for in a fairly decent proportion because of its anti-inflammatory properties.
Right, and then you were talking. I brought that up because you were speaking of the entourage effect.
Yeah,
and getting that, because a lot of strains out there have zero CBD in them, and that could be why people are having some negative reactions to some of these strains, and all because you need that CBD to help balance out that THC.
So Jesse said that he thinks the mindfulness it creates, especially CBG, helps
Speaking crazy again.
Helps to create an environment of wellness.
Well, the CBD is a CBG. Sorry, it's a non-psychoactive phytocannabinoid. So that's one thing we kind of need to define the difference of here. Endocannabinoids are produced naturally in the body. So when someone speaks about an endocannabinoid, it is a naturally occurring cannabinoid that we produce through our own chemistry. When we talk about the cannabinoids that come from the cannabis plant, they're technically phytocannabinoids because they're plant-based, right?
Right.
So the CBG, it's believed that it's a precursor to THC and CBD. So in younger plants, right, before they're reaching maturity,
the stem cells of everything.
That's right. It's shown to have benefits as far as anti-inflammatory properties.
Right.
It's one of the ones we're discussing with glaucoma. It's shown potential there. And also for Crohn's and things like that, inflammatory bowel diseases.
Correct.
So CBG would be something you'd want to look for if you were looking to combat any of those particular.
Now I'm going to stop you right there for just a second, because what Dr. High, what David's talking about, sounds a lot like our Golden Medley, which is a full spectrum CBD with CBG and CBDA.
That sounds familiar.
Yes. So you're hearing about what this can do. This is why we've blended these oils this way, mostly for inflammation, but exactly what we're talking about. So check us out. Pick up a bottle of Golden Medley, and you can check that out. I speak cuckoo now at masterroacheesgarden.com. masterroacheesgarden.com. What do you think?
Yeah.
Why, thank you. Back to you, but when we were talking about CBG and all of that, I needed to.
Dr. High, can you sing?
Can I sing?
Yeah, are you a good singer?
No. No, I like to listen to music, but I have no talent for creating it.
Not even a smidgen?
Not even a smidgen.
Well,
No, not for me.
please. Well, okay. So let me explain myself.
Please do.
So, me and one of our faithful viewers, Kayla, aka THC Butt Stuff, we're talking in the comments, and she said that she's gonna move to Canada, right? And
Canada won't let her in.
me being the silly goofy girl I am, my reply to her comment was, "Oh, Canada," but like just in all
That's
caps,
right.
so people, could grasp what I was trying to send out. So I was gonna see if you would sing "Oh, Canada"
Yeah.
since you're from
You and
Canada,
Kayla aren't supposed to be in the same state at the same time.
and we're gonna be this weekend.
Yeah, I think that's bad for everybody, especially Jesse.
That's funny. Oh, Canada is widely known only because of hockey.
I could see that because I'm not gonna lie. The only reason I know the song "Oh Canada" is because of the Love Guru, that movie.
Oh, the Love Guru. I think I've seen that. That's funny.
Well, I follow hockey or used to some, and then of course the Winter Olympics. Always root for the United States and Canada, and yeah, I just love the culture up there, man.
I guess
it's beautiful.
I guess I could have heard "Oh Canada" off of Letterkenny or the other one.
And Letterkenny's funny because I grew up in rural Ontario.
Right.
And Letterkenny is not too far off the way I grew up in a lot of ways. We had those crowds. I went to high school in 1980, so it was a different time than it is now.
Well,
certainly.
I know it's set in Canada, but some of the time when they're sitting out in front of their barn, I'm thinking, wow, this is a scene you could walk up on in Indiana, though.
Yeah, I mean, geographically, we're really so similar. Canadians and Americans are really the same kind of people. We just had different programming because of our different governmental philosophies, I suppose. So
you're exactly right.
It's only politics that separates us.
Yeah. Oh. Well, we're from the same era, and when Bob and Doug McKenzie did Great White North with Geddy Lee,
yes,
that was great.
Yeah.
So, big
we've exported some good comedy and a little bit of good music, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, one of my favorite Canadian artists. I mean, I've loved him since probably 1973, as Gordon Lightfoot passed away.
Oh, yeah.
And I had the opportunity. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's a shame. But he was an old guy, right? He had a good life. I mean, it's time, right? We all going to get there.
Oh, certainly.
About it.
But I had the opportunity to see him when he was pretty close to his prime. And then I had an opportunity to see him again about, 15, 16 years ago.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, he put on both shows were just incredible. I mean,
the Edmund Fitzgerald has always been a favorite of mine, no matter what. I mean, it's just a great song, haunting and excellent. And I like his other music too, but it's kind of funny because a really old and good friend of mine is a drummer with a Canadian band called the Tea Party. I think
you know what?
Before.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? I checked them out after you told me about them, and I really dig them. I would love to play some of their music on the show if we can get hooked up together.
Yeah, that might be possible. I'm thinking he does a 24-hour drum marathon at the end of this month. He's really very involved with charity work and does a lot of good things for the community that we grew up in.
Oh man, I love that. That's the kind of people we're looking to talk to.
Yeah, like phenomenal like that. Really, really good guy. That's how he spends his time when he's not on the road or in the studio. is
Right
doing
on.
charity work, right? But he had posted a picture on social media the other day with him and his wife and Gordon Lightfoot at an awards show, so kind of neat like that. But yeah, that's one thing. If you guys out there that are listening to this have never heard of the Tea Party, you should
Check
really
them
check
out.
them out on YouTube, because if you like Led Zeppelin, if you like the Doors, if you like music with just a little bit different flair but good driving rock and roll, it's a good band.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. Tell you what, why don't we get rid of this one hashtag so we can get another hashtag up?
What are we giving away?
Let's give away some beard oil or CBD oil. I don't know. I haven't been told what we're giving away.
Ma!
Let's do a choice. Let them choose.
Oh, we said choice.
Choice.
So
we are spinning the wheel for the power of choice.
So to make it equal value, 1 bottle of CBD oil or 2 bottles of beard oil.
We are spinning for the power of choice.
Power of choice. Let the people decide. Maybe. Possibly we're going to spin.
Are you ready?
I've been ready.
Are you ready?
Where have you been? I
Dave,
know David's ready.
are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Drum roll.
No. Just spin.
Trash. How dare you?
How dare I? How dare you? You're the reason my fingers hurt. My hand hurts.
Please stop saying that. This is like that time when you went rogue on the internet and you started looking stuff up. That is in that same category. Stop saying it. Chris Trailer.
I started playing the guitar again today, and it's her fault.
Chris Trailer, my friend, where are you at, buddy? Let me know you're here in the comments.
No. I think that you think very inappropriately at times.
I think that you don't think about what you say before you say it. I think it just falls right out.
Well, probably.
Jenny Trailer said he's here.
That's just because the brain works faster than the mouth sometimes.
This is true.
You know?
Explain what he did.
And sometimes my mouth works a lot faster than my brain. And that's usually when I get in trouble.
That's the indica.
Right. Right.
The reverse
Jenny
is the
said he's in the
sativas.
bathroom. Well, Jenny, tell him to get out of the bathroom. Okay, there you are.
No, that's not right.
What?
Uh-huh.
His wife said he was in the bathroom.
Right, and you told him tell him to get out of the bathroom, just tell him thank you and have him let us know when he's back. I mean,
His wife's the one that commented it.
It's not like he hashed and dashed. He hashed and had to take care of business.
He hashed and then had to dash somewhere else.
Right, but thank you for not taking your phone or computer in with you. So
I take my phone in with me every time. That way, if I'm not on the Beardeds Live, that way I don't lose my chances. Duh. He almost forgot to flush.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
Okay, so Chris, I'm sure you know what to do, but I will tell you just in case you don't.
Oh,
So,
you gotta,
tell us what you want in your direct message to Master Roachee.
She scares me.
Good. And then, also, I think we have your address, but just in case, send it again. Just in case.
No, I have it.
Just in case.
Send help. Being held hostage.
And we'll get that sent out to you.
Hostage. Send help.
Okie dokie artichokes.
David, what was probably the most unexpected or interesting thing that you found out or learned while doing your research? What just really surprised you?
I think most interestingly was the potential for cannabis with traumatic brain injuries, concussion, and stuff like this. Um, yeah, it was that was probably the most surprising medical condition that I came across cannabis to be beneficial for, because you wouldn't think that it would necessarily be good for a brain injury, but apparently because of the endocannabinoid system and the way it works, it can be beneficial. And funnily enough, um, I do give away my books from time to time on Facebook, and traumatic brain injury was one of the most downloaded books that I've done. So um, I think there's really a use for it there, especially with athletes and stuff like that. So
Well, I think there's even a larger group that's probably looking at that as veterans, because we have a lot of veterans out there that came home with traumatic brain injuries and PTSD, both that can be helped by cannabis. And I know that you have been extremely interested in helping and working with veterans.
absolutely.
And I want to thank you for that.
Oh,
We appreciate
absolutely.
it.
It's a pleasure. It's them who should be thanked for what they've done, what they do. Right. And sometimes I don't think they have access to the resource that they should have. Canada's actually pretty good about that. They have programs in place for veterans um, and cannabis, where they actually provide them with the vaporizers. And we had a contract to supply digital volcanoes and airizers to the
No,
clinics that were dispersing these amongst the veterans. And I've actually been in contact with a few of them. One last summer, actually, we were installing a pool for them, and we had a lot of conversation about how cannabis has benefited him after serving a full career with the Canadian military
right.
in some of the toughest places too. So, yeah, there's definitely a huge potential there for that, and it's so much better. The side effects are so, I mean, almost non-existent compared to traditional therapies, right? So
Right.
you have to work with the doctor. That's the most important thing. You have to work with the doctor, because you have to try traditional treatments, and then you supplement it with cannabis therapy. And then if you find it's beneficial with the cannabis, then you start looking at your traditional treatments and where you can adjust those to maybe lower dosing, less prescriptions that you're taking, and work backwards from there, right?
Right. Because cannabis is also being shown again. Something that's very beneficial to veterans is helping get off of opioids, because they were prescribed just ungodly amounts,
Yeah.
uh, and you know ruined a lot of lives. But now there's hope for some of these thanks to cannabis, to help step off of opioids.
Well, I don't remember the details, but I did read about the mechanism that makes cannabis beneficial, and apparently some of the components, the cannabinoids, um, the opioid receptor sites will accept that molecule also. So it kind of stimulates those sites that are regularly stimulated through the use of opioids. So that could be perhaps why there's some potential there.
Right. And I mean, there's just so many studies that need to be done on, helping alleviate alcohol addiction, opioid addiction, uh, just a lot of things that cannabis uh, has a potential to do. Do we have the website up? Because let's start letting people know how to get a hold of this book.
You want to know, funnily enough, what the best treatment for alcoholism is?
What's that?
LSD.
I believe it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I mean, psilocybin is doing some amazing things in studies, especially again with traumatic brain injury and other
Yes.
uh, uh, brain issues. And cannabis and psilocybin together are, it's, these products that are natural to us, that have been made for us to consume for these illness,
Yes.
so much of it was forgotten in the last 100 years when we started getting commercial pharmaceuticals, and the herbal and apothecaries have vanished.
Well,
I
they didn't they weren't forgotten. They were buried, right? Because you can't make a claim if you sell a natural product. You cannot make a claim as to the benefit of that product.
Yeah, I know.
So really, you can't say that if you take this, you should receive this benefit, right? And that's all controlled for reasons that aren't necessarily ethical.
No, no.
Right.
Greed, power, and racism is what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
We just touched toes.
Oh my God, my foot's gonna fall off.
I thoroughly believe both psilocybin and LSD, they kind of have a way of like resetting your brain, because after both, it's like a reset. Like my depression's gone for at least a month and a half after I do either.
I've been reset many times.
It's funny like that, isn't it? How it works. I haven't taken LSD in a few years because it's just not so easy to find, or I would still continue to use it. I used it into my 40s, and then I don't know anybody who's young enough to access it, right? But mushrooms are a regular part of my existence.
Right.
I like to grind them up and put them, encapsulate them, and microdose. So, I like a nice 100 milligram dosing. That's, you don't really feel the effect of the mushroom at all, but there is benefit there. So,
certainly.
Well, and it's hard to source LSD in America even.
Yeah, I don't.
I was informed that it was highly dangerous when I did LSD when I was 18. I was told I could have died.
If I don't know the book, I don't do the acid. No, too much hanky panky going on out there. I'll stick to mushrooms unless I know the cook.
Well, now that I'm more,
and they say that almost all the LSD ever made was produced by 7 or 8 chemists only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All the LSD ever made was only made by 7 or 8, but it's such a huge process, right? To find the ergot, to then pollute the rest of the crop with ergot. You know what I mean? Like it's and you can't have precursors anymore. So, it would be a bit of a roll of the dice, especially in this day and age, right? With all the stuff that's being put into
all that fentanyl crap.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, luckily, whenever I decided to do LSD, it was pre fentanyl era America, so I didn't get affected by that.
You don't think you're affected by more than that?
No.
If I had that exact same LSD, I would do it again. The only thing in comparison to psilocybin, though, the only thing is psilocybin is so much more gentler on the body than LSD. Like when the tummy aches on LSD for me are insane.
Oh, it's that soapy taste and the tingle down my spine. And just having a discussion, I'm like, I can feel it right now.
I always. For me, I always knew it was getting ready to kick in when my thighs and legs started to ache a little bit, and that was my body's trigger going. Put your seatbelt on.
That was a big thing during my youth, that's for sure. But I'm fortunate enough now that I live 15 minutes from Mohawk territory, reservation here, and mushrooms are easily available. They have 104 pot shops on this res. 104 in one res.
Variety.
Almost every building you drive by out there is selling cannabis. And it's nice because they don't have the same restriction on dosing that they have in the legal channel here.
Right.
Of course, everything they're doing is legal because they're on their own land. But they can produce products that are more in tune with the numbers that people need, especially when they're using cannabis as medicine. Because a 2 milligram dose or 5 milligram dose is not really enough necessarily, right? And
Right.
the focus is still THC and CBD, and that's the big problem. Um, they don't necessarily work alone. I don't think that a CBD isolate or distillate, THC distillate, or a THCA crystal is not necessarily the way to go. Like, you need full spectrum. You need a whole plant medicine, full
Yes,
spectrum
you do.
extract. This is the real thing. You can supplement if you're dealing with severe pain issues, then to dab distillate for that immediate relief, absolutely. Why not? But it's only a short term benefit like that, right? With the full plant medicine,
Right.
they're a lot longer lasting.
And you see, that's what we're doing is we're using the full spectrum CBD as our base, and then adding isolates of CBG and CBDA into it. So, we're boosting what was already there in the full spectrum anyway,
Yep.
and now we've just gave it a huge upshot. So we're making sure that we're getting that entourage effect in our products.
That's it. Well, there's absolutely no reason. I mean, technically, any individual strain can be replicated into an oral dose. Any
Right.
strain, because if they're analyzed, terpenes are widely available. Flavonoids can be purchased in concentrated forms. So you can actually prepare your own medical preparations based upon your needs by just sourcing these things and making your own medicine at home.
Yes, and
You know?
that's what's led to a lot of the stuff that we have on the market.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yep.
And I want to get into more, also combining more herbs into this, and with an herbal cannabinoid blend. And I think that we're going to get some supercharged stuff out of it.
Well, the thing is so much of the benefit of cannabis comes from things other than the cannabinoids, right?
Mhm.
There's an interaction between the cannabinoids, flavonoids, and terpenes that do something kind of magical. But these elements are found in other plants in nature. So
Right.
if you start to stack different herbal, uh, different herbs and different plants, specifically containing the terpenes and flavonoids that you need to combat inflammation, let's say, then you can really almost like make it like a superfood.
Right. They're partnering up and complementing each other, and boosting the benefits of each.
Exactly.
Is what we've been looking into, and have some really interesting stuff that I would love to get out to people to try, but it's going to be a little while longer. Now, you were talking about terpenes,
Yep.
and that's one of my favorite kind of subjects, because the terpenes have a big impact on effects of any particular strain. I mean, that's really the main thing that kind of carves out that strain. Is that correct?
Well, that's what gives each individual nose. That's what gives the nose to cannabis, are
Right.
the terpenes, right? So every different bag you get has a different nose, a different smell. Same strains are generally replicatable on the nose. Whether they're replicatable in content is very different, right? Because you can take 100 clones, give it to 100 growers, and get 100 different results. Really, with cannabis, because it's so sensitive to the environment, right? And the nutrients that you're feeding and the regimen you have them on. But that nose should be the same across across those 100 grows. It should all smell the same, because
Right.
that's the terpenes, right? That are bringing that to it. So that's where the unique thing is. The real problem is that you'll have a couple of terpenes that'll make up the majority in any given strain. A high terpene percentage in Canada, where we're testing these things in the legal market, if you can hit 3% terpenes, you're doing very, very well. You'll find a lot of them will be more in the 1.5 to the low 2% range. I've seen an odd one hit close to 5, but that's really rare. So it's expensive to test cannabis,
Oh, yeah, it is.
right? So
Yeah.
how far are companies going to go to break down what's actually in a particular strain? And that's where the problem's going to be when people come to looking for specific right? Is you're not going to, it's not that they're not present, it's that you're not going to know that they're
Well, that's when you start getting companies that are really looking hard into genetics and
Mhm.
lineage and looking for to treat particular things and are looking for those particular terpenes and uh, genetics.
Accurate. Accurate.
Well, it's all going to change with legalization. That's where it has to start, right? And I think legalization in the States will be really good because the border opens up and it'll force the North American market to become more competitive. And
Yes,
that's
that's good for everybody.
quality, right? When you have very little competition, you don't have a great deal of quality because there's only that source.
Right.
And we're finding some of the best cannabis being produced here in the legal market is coming from what they call micro grows. So there are different licenses you can get in Canada to produce cannabis legally. A
And
micro grow is defined as less than 2,500 square feet, and I think a maximum of 600 pounds a year of production.
you see, I love that because you're going to get number one that's going to help the price if keeping things reasonable. The other thing is, you're going to have companies that are going to specialize in certain strains or something, and that's all they're going to do. So it's going to be great for the consumer. It's going to be great for the growers. I think it's just a wonderful idea all the way around.
For me, what I think the real difference is that the guys who are operating the micros are growing out of passion. They love the plant, and there are true cultivators, right? Guys who care about genetics, guys who really try to dial it in. When you're growing, the facility I was in had 56,000 square feet of grow space, and we ran that as a crew of eight guys to run that part of the facility, the cultivation aspect of it. So when you have 800 plants in a room, it's very hard to maintain the oversight necessary to produce at the highest level, right? To keep it dialed in. The rooms are so big, it's hard to keep your environment correct, and get everything done like that. So, and plus the bigger companies had a lot more money to start, which means the guys who are running the companies are money people, not cannabis people. So the
and unfortunately, that makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference in this industry. A huge difference, right? In Canada, it's not expensive, right? I can go and legally buy an ounce between $80 and $120 at the store.
That's not bad.
Which is pretty reasonable. Yeah, it's not bad. And the quality will always be decent, right? You'll never see anything under 16, 17% THC, and you'll find strains in that price range that'll hit maybe upwards of around 25. You might get some exotics in the close to 30% range. That'll be 140 an ounce, but they're like unicorns.
Right. Did you ever pick out a music?
I did pick out music.
Well, why don't we play some music and then come back and spin this wheel?
Sure. Sure.
We'll be right back.
Once again, I apologize for how distracted he gets because it's like mid-conversation when he's like, hey, music!
That's all right.
Like, camera.
It's the way my brain works. I've been reset a few times.
That's it. I think there's some strains out there that can improve focus too. So,
yes. Yes. Actually, CBG is credited for helping increase focus.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, this is Sunshine by Tristan Beers, kids.
Sunshine by Tristan Beer.
You and me tonight. There's no place I'd rather spend my time. You know how I adore you so, and I just want to let you know that the color of your eye, bluer than the seven seas. You know how I adore you so, and I don't want to let you go. But if you come back one more time, I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. The way you look tonight, more beautiful than the brightest stars. You know how I adore you so, and I just want to let you know that the color of your eye, more bluer than the seven seas. You know how I adore you so, and I don't want to let you go. But if you come back one more time, I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. And if you dance with me one more time, I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. Bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll bring no trouble. I'll only bring the sunshine. You and me tonight. There's no place I'd rather spend my time. You know how I adore you so. I'm the one to let you go. Mm.
That is a great song. I like that.
I tell you, I really, really dig his music, and so does our audience. And you were hitting the right chord about growing and the difference, because we've got a lot of growers, a lot of very talented growers, I might add, in our audience.
Okay.
So you were hitting a good chord right there. So tell them again how to get your book. We've had it up, but
It's
Well,
up again.
as of midnight tonight, it will be free to download from Amazon. Is Cannabis Medicine, and it'll be available for 48 hours.
48 hours. That's
Yeah.
yeah, because we were only talking 24, so you doubled the time.
Yeah,
So
I
thank
doubled up because I find that with Facebook, when I'm watching the activity on my posts, it can take 2 days for people to, the bulk of the people to see them. So it just made more sense to go 48 hours on that. And as an added bonus, I have also made available free to download uh, this week medical cannabis for general wellness.
Excellent. That's a new one, isn't it?
That is a new book. Yeah. I mean, it's been available since mid-April or so, but I just haven't gotten around to getting into it yet because I've been working through. I like to post on Facebook through the excerpts from the books because it gives people the information there, and I'm actually very pleased to see how many people are interested in the science behind what's going on. Right?
Right.
There's a lot of interaction, and people like to read the posts, and I think it's kind of neat. So I work my way through, but I just tried to um, release the free book on the week that I'm going to discuss that topic, right? And make the
Right.
post for the week and have that book there available like that. I like to always make them free. If you go to my website, drhigh.ca, all the books are free there.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
So
And we talked that we'll make sure that any vet that needs or wants a copy of your book, we'll make sure that it gets into their hands.
absolutely. Absolutely. Like we discussed before, I'd be happy to give you the masters and the ability to distribute them as needed. So there'd be no reason to communicate about it. You'd just be able to send it out right there.
We would love to do that. We would
Yeah.
love to do that because firm believer in veterans helping veterans. And thank you for doing what you're doing with the
Oh,
veterans also. But yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm a believer.
oh, I was going to ask
That's
you,
it.
tell me about your new book because I haven't read that one yet.
Oh, for general wellness? Well,
Yeah,
it just discusses that basically you don't need to be sick you don't have to be suffering from a medical condition to find benefit through cannabis use. Even if
exactly.
you're a recreational user, you're receiving the benefits of cannabis just simply from its ingestion, right? So basically, the book goes into when I break them down like this. They're really the reason I have so many is because the core of the book is what's different in each book. The basics, the history of medical cannabis, how to speak with your doctors, um, the risks of using these sort of things are standard across all conditions, right?
Right.
But those 3 or 4 chapters in the middle that deal specifically with that issue is what matters to somebody who's suffering from that medical condition.
Now,
So
do you have any particular book that goes into depth in the endocannabinoid system? Because we have a lot of interest from people that are wanting to find out more. about the endocannabinoid system.
No, Is Cannabis Medicine has a really good chapter on the endocannabinoid system
Yes,
and
it
the
does.
entourage effect.
Yes,
So
it does.
in there, the endocannabinoid system, you could really write a whole book on. But then it gets very technical and maybe not easy to read, right? Because not everybody has the desire to sit and read a scientific literature, right? It
No.
doesn't take many. But my books, I haven't written these books for cannabis intellectuals or people with a high degree of knowledge in the cannabis space, simply because they don't need to learn.
No, your books are just perfect for the audience that you were targeting. There's so much that
Yeah.
just general people can learn from this that will really help them articulate, why cannabis is helping them, their friends, and yes, it is medicine.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people are intimidated by doctors, right? They have something they call white coat syndrome,
Right.
which people, they get nervous when they go to talk to a doctor. And especially if you're going to go talk to a doctor about cannabis, people just, because the stigma has been in place for so long, it's just, it's a weird thing. It's like a
Right.
confession, right? Talking to your doctor about cannabis. So I think the way to give people confidence in having that conversation is to walk in there with knowledge about their specific condition, and tell the doctor, here is the proof, here are the studies. I believe that I want to give this a try, right? Because the doctors do tend to push back a little bit when it comes to cannabis. So
Exactly. We're having a lot of the patients are more educated than the doctors as far as cannabis. Oh,
yes.
let's. Are we doing another one?
Doing what? What? It's up. You want me to spin it?
Yeah.
Once again with that mid sentence stuff, Dr. High. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Something different on this giveaway.
The only problem with that is the short-term memory loss in between breaks.
Maybe I should just start hitting him in his head and then he'll remember.
No, I've been hitting the head enough.
So what do you think
I don't
about
think
doing
so.
something a little different on this one?
What's the different thing?
Different's always
The
good.
different thing. What do you want to do?
I don't know, maybe a t-shirt?
A t-shirt?
What do you think?
A t-shirt?
I defer.
You defer, you have no say.
You're literally like the owner of the company and you're like, I don't care.
Something a little different.
I defer. Because whenever I pick, I'll be wrong.
All right, everybody get your hashtags in for a Master Roachee's Garden t-shirt.
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 Well, raglan shirt.
Raglan shirt.
Raglan shirt. Baseball shirt for us normies.
Get your hashtags
Baseball
in.
shirt.
Something a little different.
Like I said, if I picked something, I would be wrong.
Probably.
If I'd picked raglan shirt, I'd been wrong. It would have been something else.
And I may throw something a little special in the package too. So.
Well, see, that's the joy of being a business owner, is the delegation of tasks.
Oh no, because I'm
You
part
put
of
the right people in the right places so that the good decisions will always be made.
I'm part owner, so there's no delegating anything.
No, I'm the one that's usually getting delegated to.
Okay.
So give them a couple minutes to get their hashtags in.
I will. So, Cosmo, we actually have links for 2 different books. We have one for Is Cannabis Medicine, which is the one that's on the screen now. And then the other link that has been on the screen is Medical Cannabis for General Wellness. So those are the 2 books, and at midnight tonight is when those links become active.
Yes.
Yeehaw.
If for some reason I can't find them, I'll be posting them most likely tomorrow in Dr. High and on my own profile too, because I have not posted these books for the next couple of days. I wanted to leave this as something special I was doing with you tonight.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
First, and then tomorrow
Yeah. Well, we hope
Exclusive.
that the people that have previously got your books are going to tell their friends that this is a good opportunity to get a copy, both copies,
Yeah,
and amazing opportunity. I love how they're written. Just you know, again, I was just really amazed. I was expecting, when you sent them to me, I was expecting a lot less. I've had people send me all kinds of stuff, and it's like, okay, let's see what this is. And I got in, and I was impressed, and I reached out to you and said,
you
this
did.
is,
Yeah,
this is good.
yeah.
Uh, and I appreciate that, and that's why I've got bookshelves full of books.
Hi, William Groover.
And this is probably one of the best ones that I've read
Wow.
about medicinal uses. That is simple, easy to understand, and just it takes you methodically through everything.
I
And
appreciate
you're very welcome. Fits together very nicely. So I would encourage everybody, get you a copy, let your friends know, make sure they get a copy, because this is information that you're going to enjoy. If you're a cannabis enthusiast, recreational or medical, this is a book that you're just going to enjoy reading. It's going to give
Yeah.
you some great information.
I mean, whatever your interest is, even as a cultivator, although you do have, as a cultivator, a lot of them do have knowledge around terpenes and the cannabinoids, obviously, but they may not necessarily understand exactly what they target a specific terpene, right?
Yeah.
If you're growing for your own medical purposes, these can help you fine tune the direction and how you're selecting your strains, right? So
Yes, and that is why that is one area of genetics that I am very, very interested in.
Hobbies the Puppet brought up a very excellent point.
That's
While
excellent.
you're on Amazon, you can check out all of Dr. High's books.
yes,
We
I
do
do
have.
not have a relationship. I haven't seen him for a while, but I hope he's doing well.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, these are not just two books. This makes what, 26, 27 now?
Yes.
Well, yeah, in English, because I
In
have
English.
translated. Yeah, I have translated his cannabis medicine into 5 languages, and I will translate the entire catalog into probably 8 languages in total by the time it's said and done. But it's unique, and cannabis is emerging around the globe, and people need to know the resources just aren't out there for people to educate themselves, right? You can go online. There's tons of information online. That's where all the information comes from. But who can sit down and spend
Mhm.
time, number one, finding those specific studies, and then going through multiple studies to really decipher what they
Right.
mean. So really, I've just made it easy. All the information's available.
You
I
got to vet all that information too and make sure it is reliable and correct.
That's
Because
it.
there's a lot of crap out there too.
Well, that's it. And that's why everything, when you go through my books, they are referenced to the studies. The studies are there. You can go back. You can check the studies yourself, especially the ebooks, because even links, the studies that did have links, they are in the ebooks. So you can link right back into the study to read them. So I thought it was important because, I mean, who am I, right? I'm just a guy who's passionate about cannabis. People don't want to know what I think. They need to know what science says, what really valid evidence there is out there that there's a potential benefit for them. And the only way to do that's with science.
Yeah, and they need it to come from an unbiased source, because a lot of the stuff that you'll find on the internet, as you come to the conclusion, you find it was written, for a company to sell a product, and they are touting, these benefits and that benefits, and it was kind of misled as, this actual article. So you got to be careful of the crap that's out there too.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because a lot of the medical cannabis information that you find online is linked back to either clinics or people trying to sell medical cards, right?
Yes.
So the motivation, although the information may be factual, It's not as in depth either. Like
No.
this is all I have focused on. There's no deviation from it. The website, basically, the books are designed to introduce people to the possibility when dealing with something specific. This cannabis medicine came about because those books didn't go deep enough into the explanation. It gave the science behind it and some of the reasoning, the talk of terpenes and things like that, but it really didn't go deeply in to explain why these things happen, right? On that level, on the biological level of the plant and the physiological level of the people. So
Oh, yeah.
that was where his cannabis medicine kind of evolved from that place, because I felt that people could use it as a companion to their specific condition, right? Whether it was Tourette's or whatever the case may be. And then use his cannabis medicine to learn what to look for. I'm currently working on something that'll be a guide to strain selection based upon the components in the plant, right? So people can
Very.
figure out how to target this, because you can have a lot of different medical conditions, but they usually boil down to only a handful of physiological manifestation: inflammation, chronic pain, anxiety. So we
Gastrointestinal issues.
yeah, things like that, right? So we can actually address a lot of issues by addressing the manifestation, what it actually does to us in a physiological sense. So we don't have to target glioblastoma, right? Or something like this. We can target the nausea that comes with chemotherapy, the appetite loss that comes with chemotherapy, even for people with Alzheimer's. Two of the main problems when you have Alzheimer's is fear, because you don't know where you are, so you're disoriented and you're fearful.
Yeah.
And your appetite goes. You don't think to eat, right? So cannabis will stimulate the appetite, but will also help alleviate that fear.
Yeah, that anxiety, right.
Yeah. And then there's the additional benefit of the potential that's been shown for it to prevent the amyloid plaque buildup on the brain. And if the plaque is there, it can help start to remove it. So there's the science part of it, and then there's the treatment of the effects of that particular condition. So there's different ways that cannabis can interact to help.
Yeah, and I think, and again, I think these are wonderful books for introduction, especially for people that don't understand or still think that cannabis is voodoo science, and it's just a fad, and it's all talk. And this really brings the science to the forefront to allow people to understand. Yes, there are serious studies, and they have been confirmed findings, and this is what this plant does.
Yes.
It's not just people wanting to get high. And I believe, like you do, if you are consuming cannabis, you are a patient. There is something that it is helping you with, whether you're aware of it or not.
Yes. Yeah, it's quite possible.
And we want everybody to make sure that you are, consuming, safely. You're educated. That you're taking steps, and also talk to your physician or healthcare provider if you start on a cannabis or cannabinoid regimen. Talk to them, help educate them, get the most out of the relationship between both of you.
Yeah.
So,
I think there are two paths of evolution for cannabis at this point in time. I would say in 20 years from now, it'll be commonly prescribed by most doctors. But what's going to happen is you're going to have doctors that come in two ways. Doctors who come in because they are dealing with patients who have used cannabis without this prescription, but they have conditions that can be measured, tumor growth, things of this nature. So the doctors cannot deny the changes they're seeing physiologically. And the only thing different with this patient compared to this patient is this one has included cannabis
right.
in treatment, right? So this will start to bring doctors towards it because they're seeing the evidence of the benefit of cannabis.
Well, cannabis was the number 2 prescribed medication before, what, 1937?
Yeah,
In the
exactly.
United States. It's not like this is a foreign medication. We were using it with great effect. In fact,
Yeah.
the AMA didn't see any reason for it to ever be outlawed.
Well, it's not because it wasn't medicine that it was outlawed.
No,
It
no,
was,
no, it was the fibers.
yeah, it was the fibers with DuPont. Exactly.
Yep, yep.
Exactly, because they couldn't compete with rayon and polyester and the synthetic fibers because they're petroleum based and hemp was really cheap to grow. So, and the problem is that over this 100 years, we've lost the equipment to process hemp properly. Because the equipment, you can't process hemp with the same equipment you use to process other farm products because it's just such a dense fiber that it destroys machinery. So now you have the problem where you're going to have machine producers, equipment producers producing products that can work in cannabis again, right? So
yeah, they're starting that development.
oh, they will.
Yeah, there are some amazing equipment out there. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, between Hearst, Asslinger, and DuPont, and those clowns, it was greed, power, and racism is why the plant was outlawed.
Yep, 100%. That was exactly it because they just couldn't compete with it.
Yep.
Plain and simple. And the fact is, although we talk about cannabis as medicine and a form of recreation and lifestyle, there are thousands and thousands of products that can be made from this plant that benefit us in so many ways, from building materials to dynamite.
Yep.
You make so many things with cannabis that are just better.
And anything petroleum produces, cannabis can produce.
That's right, because it's cellulose and fiber.
Yep.
That's it. I mean, Henry Ford built a cannabis car, built
Yeah.
a body out of cannabis, and you can't damage it with a sledgehammer.
And he also came up with an engine that was going to be powered by the cannabis oil.
Isn't that something, right?
Yeah, like a early diesel engine.
And wouldn't that be great for farmers?
I'm
Because
gonna go ahead and spin.
farmers,
Yep, spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
One thing that's really killing me about living in a prohibition state right now
Yes.
is Tina Redmond. Are you here, Tina?
Tina Redmond. Wonderful, wonderful.
Let me know that you're still here in the comments, my dear. But no, the one thing that's really killing me living in a prohibition state right now is I've had a major influx of cancer patients recently, and even patients on G tubes. And the thing that really kills me is if they could just have cannabis, the nausea symptoms would be alleviated. They would be able to at least eat something. Like it's so sad to see that the politicians in Indiana would rather have money in their pockets than help these people who just need a plant.
well, it's because the money in their pockets comes from political donations that come from people trying to influence the decisions the politicians make, right? But
Exactly.
based on what you're just saying, Kate, we are going to have a solution to the problem of people in prohibition states within the next couple of weeks.
Yes, we are.
I hope so.
So
That
we
is going
will
to
be
be.
able to help people no matter where they live in the United States access cannabis to be used as medicine. This is it's coming very, very short.
That is going to be an exciting conversation.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Exciting conversation. But yeah, I mean, our Kate's exactly right. Now, we're not saying that cannabis is going to help everybody every time,
Nope.
but people should have the opportunity and the right to at least try.
The thing is anybody that's ever had a family member with cancer or even worked in a healthcare facility and taken care of anybody with cancer, anything helps. Even if it helps for like 5 minutes.
I would have loved to have had cannabis when I was taking care of both mom and dad.
Exactly.
You know,
And it sucks right now.
Yeah, instead of the heavy medication that they were on and just zombied them out, I think they could have gotten a lot of relief and had not been put in the mental state that the other medication put them in.
Well, imagine how it would improve the lives of people in long-term care and old age facilities.
Oh,
I mean, they would enjoy the television more. They'd
exactly.
enjoy the music more. They would be more mentally stimulated, and they have the side benefit of the medical potential to it too. I think that's the segment of the population that could really benefit the most.
Absolutely.
Over 50.
And those are the people that I think that your book's going to really help, because you're talking about our age group, or at least my age group.
Yeah, mine too.
That had, again, all of this negative propaganda and stigmatization shoved down their throats from such an early age.
Yeah.
That it's hard for them to reverse their thinking and going, well, and you kind of explain to them, well, there for a long time, butter was the worst thing for you. And then, oh, no, margarine's terrible, butter's good. As we find out more and more of the science, and we can reach out to people in a rational and educated way, that's the way we're going to make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I may look a little strange from time to time, but I try to be informed and be able to speak with people on many different levels, because this is something I'm passionate about.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing. Like from our age group, there are very few of us who've never tried cannabis. What we have is a 6 or 7% of our cohort that tried cannabis in high school and have continued to use cannabis until this day. Now you have another 90% of people who tried cannabis in high school and college, but that went on to have careers and raise their families and felt that cannabis wasn't a good fit for their lifestyle at that time. And now they're getting into their older years where their body is catching up and they're starting to experience different things that can really benefit from cannabis. So
here's a picture of me from at high school, and as you can see from this picture, no, man, I never got to smoke the weed.
Yeah.
So yeah, me no smoke the weed.
I'm going to say that looks like about 1980, 1981.
Yep, that was 1980, 1981. You're
That
a good
was
man.
straight facts. Straight facts. 1980 to 1981.
Yeah, I know my generation.
Right on.
We all looked like that back then.
Yep, take those sunglasses off. I'm sorry, they're prescription.
That's right. I used to have a teacher when I had English after lunch. He'd come and stand behind me and just sniff the air.
Oh my
He
gosh.
let me know that he knew what was up, and he never said anything, but he'd just come and stand behind me and give a couple of good sniffs just to let me know he was on it. He knew.
Right. So you knew that he knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, those were interesting times. People complain about their stuff, but they didn't have to wait through steeds and stems.
It was fast times at Ridgemont High every day.
So, Tina, I know Mama told you what to do in the comments, but I will go ahead and say it out loud in case you didn't catch it.
Congratulations, Tina.
You need to send Master Roachee a private message with your address and then also your t-shirt size, and we will get your t-shirt sent out. And then also, I've thrown up our final hashtag of the night, which is for a Grow Fam box. And as you all can see, the hashtag is #GrowFam for life.
Yeah, and when you get it, if you wouldn't mind, take a picture of it and post it for us, because there's not only purchasing product from us helps us, but also watching the show, leaving positive reviews, liking and sharing, telling your friends about us. All of those things definitely help us out. We're a small veteran-owned business. that really appreciate your support. Thank you, and we love being able to grow with you and help you all out. You're getting to try our products, and we love the support that we're hearing back. Just absolutely love it.
While you're mentioning reviews, I'd like to ask anybody who does download books from Amazon, from Dr. High, if they would leave a review after they finish reading the book. It accomplishes two things. Number one, it helps the ranking in Amazon, so the books become more visible to others. But secondly, it gives me really important feedback, because I'm writing these books for other people, but I'm writing these books, so I'm not sure that the information is all encompassing and provides them with all they need to know on a specific thing. So if anybody ever feels like I missed something, or something should be included that wasn't included, or they didn't find the readability all that great, I need to know. Good comments, bad comments, whatever the review is, I just want them honest and straightforward, so that I can adjust my technique also to really provide people with what they need.
Well, we appreciate that you're taking that approach to it.
Absolutely.
Because you want yours to be the best, most up-to-date information, available.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Yes. Yep. It's a big preach, big preach. Please stop touching me with your feet, you freaking weirdo. Oh my God. He's been Kate. So footsie today.
Not at all. You're lying. You lie. You lie.
That's why I retched earlier before the show, by the way, because he touched me with his foot.
Lies, all lies.
They are crusty looking, buddy.
The older we get, the crustier we get, I suppose.
Getting old and crusty.
I will say they don't look bad for elderly feet. I've seen some pretty bad elderly feet, but I still don't want to be touched with them.
Elderly. Uh-huh.
Elderly.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Child.
Yeah.
Child.
But, it's the wisdom that comes with it. If we could only take what we know now and go back 30 years and take our path with that knowledge, how it might be different.
Yes, it would. And trying to impart our knowledge to a younger generation so they don't have to go through the struggles that we went through.
Yeah.
I'm getting kind of the same feedback that I gave when people of another generation tried to help me. It's like, screw you, dude. What the hell do you know? And had to figure out myself. And now I try to impart wisdom, and I kind of get the screw you, dude. What do you know? And they go about on their happy way.
So, Tony. Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Well, I was just going to say, so I just don't want to be touched with feet when I'm not on the clock. If I'm on the clock at work getting paid to touch feet, sure, whatever. Any other time, unless I'm doing it for like mom and helping mom out with her toes, like no.
I don't know. I think there's some strange websites out there for that sort of thing.
Yeah. If she gets paid for it, she's perfectly okay with it. If she's not getting paid for it, then it's off limits.
There are some ground rules. If I'm getting paid for it, and if I'm wearing gloves.
And if I'm wearing gloves, yes.
I'm cool.
So what's the price range between gloves and no gloves?
And no gloves is going to be really hella expensive.
Well, they always say, Master Roachee, no glove, no love, eh?
Right.
No love, so
yeah, and she's supposed to, she told me that she's going to help me out, and just never has.
My mom is the only person's feet that I will touch other than my own with no gloves on. Like it's like a no. Please stop touching me with your crusty ass feet.
No, I get it. My wife's a nurse, and I don't know how she does what she does. I'll tell you. The things she has to get involved with, and she always wants to come home and share her stories with me, and I'm like, please.
I've gotten to the point where I've just stopped. sharing stories.
Yeah.
You know,
Unless I have like a really crazy one, I'm to the point where I've just stopped sharing stories.
Now you have to understand, really crazy on Caitlin's crazy chart is way beyond most of ours comprehension of
Well-
just crazy.
Like I don't bring up
Just normal crazy.
so in the feet era of things,
Oh, yes.
not too long ago I took care of a patient who had his great toe amputated.
Ooh.
And like he didn't take care of it like he was supposed to.
God, it wasn't the big toe, it was the great toe.
the
What's
great
the great
no.
toe?
Yes, because there's a difference. You have a big toe, but then maybe you think one toe's just great. And that's
Yeah,
your great
you
toe.
gotta pick which one, the left foot or the
You
right.
just got to start with this little piggy went to market for me to understand which one you mean. But
Right. Just so we cleared that up.
But he was non-compliant with his weight-bearing orders, so like great toe amputation just splitting open, and like we could see the inside of his foot.
Non-compliant, huh?
You gotta
And you
be
know-
compliant with doctor's orders, bud.
No.
that's the thing my wife really loves to do is wound care.
Wound
I
care's
don't
my
know,
favorite
but-
too. I
Yeah.
could get down with wound care all day, and I've seen some really bad wounds, but I like it. I like it.
I don't
Wound
get
care's
it,
the
but
best.
I tell you, it takes a really special person to work in healthcare. It
Yeah,
really does. You have to have a heart, unlike not many in this world do.
I did it in the Army. I was an EMT and then a paramedic, and I did my time in healthcare and decided to move on to other things.
Now,
Yeah.
whenever our wound care nurse is like, "Hey, can you come help me? You know, do this dressing," I'm like, "Yes, yes, yes."
Well, it's a really high stress profession, you know. It really
Oh.
is. And,
For
Yes, it
sure,
is.
for sure.
you know, there's not enough people coming into healthcare. We're going to
No.
see a problem in the future. We're already seeing it here in Canada. To get a family doctor in Canada is very, very hard to do. You know.
Yeah, we're seeing more of that. You're seeing more and more people, having appointments with nurse practitioners and physician assistants. You're seeing very, very few anymore of general practitioner doctors around.
Well, the education alone is probably $250,000 to start
Right.
with. So you leave school with all that debt. You have to dedicate, 9 years before you're actually making money as a doctor.
And
Yeah.
then you have all the legal risks of
yeah.
of being sued and everything else, and getting money for services provided.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised why there's not why there's less people going into the medical profession.
Yeah.
The big thing that I've been seeing here recently is a lot of the specialty doctors. We're losing a lot of specialty doctors. I tried to make a appointment with a neurologist for one of my residents not too long ago, and our neurologist that we used informed me that they couldn't get him in until next year, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, why bother?
Excuse me?
Yeah, a lot could happen in a year.
Well, especially when you need to be seen now.
Yeah. No, it's really it's something to be concerned with. I think
Definitely.
it's getting to be kind of challenging out there like this.
Every day is a new challenge. It's
Yeah.
fun.
Do you
Well,
have
that's
another
what makes life
song?
interesting.
No.
No, but I don't have another song, but
Yes. Do you have a throwback?
oh goodness. There we go. Hang on.
Do we have a what?
Hang
What are
on.
you doing?
What?
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 Caitlin,
What?
what's your problem? Namaste, greetings, and good vibes.
Nice.
Master
Roachee
Roachee, I know
from Master
him.
Roachee's Garden. And if you're not hearing,
Your beard looks amazing.
then you're not using Master Roachee's Garden beard oil. Nag Champa and Oak Moss Amber. Check us out at masterroacheesgarden.com.
I'll tell you what, when that can cross the border, I'm definitely going to give it a whirl.
Right on. Right on.
Old Scratch is requesting Canadian music, but I don't think we have anybody from Canada.
Well, we're going to try to get the Tea Party on.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
Dr.
yeah.
Hi, you might be our only hope. I need you to sing us a Canadian song right now.
He said,
Canadians. Not that I know of.
Just Just
No.
off the top. Go. Go. You got
Not
this.
me. I don't have it in me to sing.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
blame you.
No.
Why don't you hit our final giveaway for the night?
Okay, fine.
And everybody knows what this is. This is a Grow Fam box. So yes, everybody
I'm
loves
just going to
the.
pop my dog out the door while you do this.
All right, very good.
So I think I shall go ahead and spin this.
Yes. Can you
Spinny,
figure it out?
spinny. Yes.
Can you do it?
Yes, yes.
Can
Here we
you
go.
do it?
Ready, kids?
Yes, we're ready.
3, 2, 10.
I see. I'm glad you're learning how to count. I've been working with you for quite a years, and you're finally making sense.
You know what?
What? What?
It really catches some of the more Ronald Blackwell.
Namaste. Congratulations, Ronald.
Show me that you're still in the
Nice.
comments, my friend.
Yeah, you gotta tell us that you're here. No hashing, no dashing.
So I only do it with the I only do it with the residents that don't have dementia, but like, so when you stand somebody up, you count. So you help them while they're helping you. So you go 1, 2, 3. Not me. Nope. We go 1, 2, 10. And it catches them so off guard. They just start laughing, and it's great every time.
Right?
You know, it's,
Whenever I can make my people smile at work, it's the best day ever.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of sad, right? Because you see so many people in those situations where the families don't come to visit very often, and I mean, I know it's not right, but I always refer to my wife's patients as inmates. Really, you know what I mean? They're living an inmate style of life in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I have a lot of residents joke about that the next thing they're gonna roll out is the jumpsuits.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just the facility that I work at now. That's how a lot of residents feel about any facility.
Yeah, I mean, it's
And
tough,
you're-
right? To
that's
grow
where you
old
find
like that.
something.
Yeah.
We should be more a culture. You know, so many cultures still honor their elders and their parents, and they look after them at home. And the North American way has kind of strayed a bit from this.
Yes, it has. You
You
don't
know.
have the extended families
Yeah.
living together. In fact, you don't even have families living remotely close. It's not anything to have, family members in different states or
I know.
miles and miles away.
Yeah,
Ronald is here.
Ronald is here.
So, Ronald, what we're going to need you to do is
Hi.
we need you to send Master Roachee a private message with your address, and we will get that GrowFam box sent out to
And
you.
congratulations, Ronald. Congratulations. Yes, we will let Ash know that you are a winner. And we are also going to
coming.
abide by the homestead contest rules, and I think everybody's seen them. I will post them on our site again also, but we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to get in on drawings. So if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but I think everybody's being posted the new rules, and it's just to be fair, and I think they're very reasonable.
So, even though I work in long-term care facilities, I am a huge advocate for taking care of your parents, grandparents, family members at home rather than taking them to a care facility.
Does that include me?
No. So, while I love my people, I think we need to take care of our own a little bit better. I think nursing homes should be more of a place for people that don't have family. And
Yeah.
I know that sounds kind of bad, but like old people got to have somewhere to go, and respite stays
family,
and
but that's not
rehabilitation
stopping you.
stays.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel about it.
And it's the way it should be. It would be the right model.
Well, especially when you take somebody with dementia, and I saw this with one of my grandmas actually. She didn't go to a long-term care facility. My stepmom actually kept her at home.
Okay.
But in her specific case, she had Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. So if she were to have been put in a nursing home and taken away from her dog and her family, it would have killed her like a lot faster than
People do die of a broken heart. Eh? This has kind of been proven scientifically that there is this broken heart syndrome, and you see plenty of people who've been married for 50, 60, 70 years. When one passes, the other passes not too far behind.
And that's what happened with my folks. My father died right before Christmas, and Mom passed away a few minutes before Mother's Day. So about 5 months apart.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's almost a blessing like that, right? Because the loneliness must be incredible. To experience something like that. I've been married 25 years. I can't imagine what life would be like without this person who's been my partner for so long, right? And by the time we get to that, it'll be 45 years. And that would just be devastating for anyone.
My mom was pissed at my dad for dying first.
Yeah.
Because he promised her that he'd be there to take care of her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she was kind of pissed about that.
I've had a lot of people like that.
Oh, yeah. I tell my wife all the time, you got to take better care of yourself. You got to outlive me.
Right.
Either you got to take better care of yourself or I got to accelerate my bad habits, one or the other.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Crystal's taking better care of herself, and well, I'm not.
Well, you only live once, eh? So you got to enjoy it too. There's a balance to be met. So,
speaking about living once, only living once. Tune in on Thursday because it's going to be chaos. We're going to be getting ready to leave for Mocana Fest. So check out this show. I'm sure that there will be nothing planned. It will be total chaos. But what else would you expect for a normal Thursday night vibes?
Oh yeah.
So check it out. I think the whole lynch mob will be here. The Mama Roachee, Caitlin the talent, and little Roachee should be here. And quite interesting. So check us out Thursday for Thursday night vibes. Never know what's going to happen. Never know. I don't know. Show to show. Giveaway? Possibly. Music? Maybe. Who knows?
I like to take things off the rails on Thursday nights. I don't always get to, but I like to make it go wild.
Well, right? I mean, this is all about interacting with the community. You got to have a good time.
Exactly. And yes, sometimes I don't know if our good time is actually in the community interest, but we have good times anyway.
My favorite shows are when I start spitting out fun facts and then we discuss the fun facts.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
And not just fun facts about like cannabis. Like one night, like way back in the beginning, I went off on a tangent about shrimp.
About shrimp?
Shrimp.
Shrimp. Yes.
Fun facts are my favorite kinds of facts.
Fun facts that nobody really wants to know.
No.
But you've got them stored up there. And yeah, so quite entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's fun. I got to tell you, I've enjoyed it. I've been with you twice now, and I've had a great time both times. It's really nice to sit around and spend some time with like-minded people and, hopefully get information out there that can help.
Right, and we love having you. Anytime that you want to come back or you have another book or something, well, we're going to be getting together here in a couple of weeks, and I'll let people know, and we'll let people know what that's going to be about. Yep. So you will be back shortly.
This is true.
Yes.
And that will be an exciting night for many.
I think so. I think so. Well, thank you for coming out and spending time with us this evening.
Absolutely a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll be talking in the next couple of days anyway. So have a wonderful evening, my friend. And, you're a beautiful person. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful night. Be safe, and we'll talk soon.
Very good.
Hey, Queen Kate. nice to see you. And we'll see if we can't get some Canadian music arranged for the next time we're together.
Yes.
Right on. Right on.
All right. Have a great night, folks. Take care. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Take care.
I don't know.
What?
Oh, we weren't
Wait.
ready for the exit.
Oh, you're not ready?
No.
You're not ready?
We're
Oh,
not ready
okay.
for the outro.
Okay.
What
Okay.
is wrong
Okay.
with you?
Okay. Okay. Whoops. Sorry, guys. Nope. We're still here. Come back. Come back. We're not done. You thought we were done, but we're not.
No, they didn't think we were done. I didn't think we were done. You thought we were done. We were just saying goodnight to Dr. High.
This man.
I know, I'm married to him.
I don't understand. Is it this simple? That we're just saying goodbye to
Come
a
back.
friend,
Come back.
and,
Everybody
that's
that was thinking about leaving, just get back in here now.
no, you've done it. You've done it. It's done. It's over. It's over. Say goodnight, Caitlin.
No,
Say,
please.
no,
Please, take it
Peace,
away.
Love.
Take it away.
Good vibes. I'm being attacked. I'm being attacked.
Marianne
So-
Kelly's still here. Here, I'll start saying hi to everybody again. Restart.
No, let's just, you're fine. You're fine. Herbert's killing me.
Nope, you did this.
Good night, all.
You want to
Have an
talk
ama-
about shrimp?
Have an amazing evening.
Oh, geez, Herbert.
Go ahead.
Sorry, kids. Bye-bye. Oh, no.
You guys are crazy. All right, I gotta get this down.
Oh my God!